and welcome. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Conundrum Cast, where we talk about anything and everything, tackling the small topics and the big questions. My name is Imre, and I'm your host. We have a new episode. This is episode 9. Yes, I can count. Episode 9. I've got a new guest. Say hello.
Hello.
Corey Boyd. How are ya? Now, I don't even know where to start this. We met... What year was that? 2000...
The ancient times, many eons ago on the fields of battle.
It was quite a while ago. It was like 2014. It was 2014.
The year before our Lord and Savior Harambe passed.
Oh, sad old
Good
times. Oh, this was back when I was boarding with a family in Tauranga, away from my family, and they introduced, I was introduced to you, which kind of changed my life. It's funny, actually. It really did change my life because you introduced me to the wonders of YouTube, and especially PewDiePie. I remember you showing me his Goat Simulator, which made me almost like crap myself because I found it so funny. And the episode of Dark Souls, I forget which one, but the episode where he sticks the controller in his mouth. So yes. Yeah, and through that, like, my awakening to the ways of the internet were...
sorry about that.
It's quite alright. I'm quite thankful for it. It was...
You shouldn't. I'm probably going to go to hell for that. I damned another soul.
No, it's fantastic. No, like, we did... I remember, I think, the first time you came over, we ended up drawing together. I think
yes.
because we got really into the... God, what was I... Well, yeah, you introduced me as well to, like, DeviantArt and stuff. Maybe, I think you'd be damned more for that one than YouTube, but DeviantArt...
Yes, again, sorry. Basically, just sorry for subjecting you to the internet.
I don't mind. It's been good. It's been a fun time. I don't exactly know where to start, but we'll find some sort of common ground to talk about. For example...
we'll get derailed quickly. We'll just have fun with it.
So I think, because I haven't really talked about it on the podcast that much before, but because, this is, in a sense, common ground, because I have ADHD, and so do you, correct?
Sorry, what? I wasn't paying attention.
That's right.
That's a little ADHD joke for everyone out there.
Yeah. So I think I want to talk about that a little bit, because I feel it's something that just isn't talked about enough. I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, like, I was diagnosed with it as a kid, but, like, my mum didn't tell me about it because she was like, don't want to make him think he's weird or whatever. But, and then I was never medicated for it either because my mum, because I went to Steiner school and it's all hippie and they're like, no medication for the children. Let them just, not pay attention.
Oh, I probably shouldn't share my opinions on Steiner. Some great people work there. I can honestly say that.
But they're all very individual characters, special individuals.
Very unique.
Yeah, unique. Unique is a good word for that. It's actually, I've been doing a bit of research on it. Funnily enough, the whole Steiner thing, it's pretty much a cult. It's it's occult science. So, all of that is...
Now, I feel like that's weak sauce, though. Until you've sacrificed something, you're not a real cult. It needs to be something that doesn't want to be sacrificed.
Well,
like
I guess how about everyone's dignity, okay? But no,
dude, everyone's willing to give that away because they know it's not going to stay for long. It's like a bargain sale of human emotions. Just like, I have no self-worth, take this shit away. But what about the sin of pride? I don't have any of that.
It's true though, but no, there's literally a book that the guy who created Steiner, Rudolf Steiner, literally wrote called Occult Sciences, talking about beyond our world there is another one of fairies and magical energies and powers. Funny, like I'm talking smack on it, but I am actually reading the book, and because I am kind of hippie feel the energy kind of thing. So like I am enjoying all of that, but still, like, as a kid growing up, it's always a bit weird. It's like I'm in class 3, year 4. I can't read yet or write. I think there's something a little weird here. But hey, I mean, I turned out. I turned out. Not good or bad. I just turned out.
You are currently still existing.
Yeah, exactly. So they couldn't have messed up that badly. Although it's again, like, I mean, the last couple of years of high school, I then went to a state school, and that's when I was like properly diagnosed, or at least that's when I personally found out I had it, because my mother never really told me if I had it or not. But then I was properly diagnosed. I finally went on the medication, and I realized that I don't really like the medication, and now I like hardly take it. So yeah. So what was your experience with the whole ADHD thing?
My experience was slightly different from others, since it was kind of like a combo, since I'm also on the autistic spectrum.
Okay.
So I kind of got that in a little bit of a combo slur. But weirdly enough, I got the first one for pretty much my whole life. It was only in my late teens that I was fully aware that I was also diagnosed with the other one.
Okay.
One of the issues I also found with it is a lot of the medication, you're almost guaranteed that the first one, the second one, and maybe even the third one you try ain't going to be great. Like, maybe the first one might be rubbish, the second one might be a bit better, the third one might seem great, but there's like one thing weird about it. Like, you know, it's... We're strange, weird meat flesh monsters that run on chemicals and pheromones. You know, you got to certainly... You got to trial a little bit. Like, if you're saying, ooh, your walking chemistry set out of whack, here, try this. Let's maybe try 2. Be a bit more precise. What are you rocking under the hood, you weird, strange meat monster?
Yeah. It is a bit like that. The thing is with me trying the medication, because I take Ritalin, and it doesn't because they're like, you know, I'm on a weird kind of end of the spectrum. I'm like a weird mix of like the hyperactivity and like the, I don't know, look, I haven't looked into it that much, but like I'm on a weird mix, so the medication doesn't really properly work either, but like I didn't want to argue with it too much, so I'm like, you know, it's pills, whatever.
See, now that's a thing that I feel like people really... No, I mean, generally speaking, I'm not trying to target you here, my dude. But if it's not working, like, give it a trial period, work your way through it, try to understand if maybe something's going on else at the time that's sort of messing with your chemistry and the two aren't gelling. But never be afraid to go back to the doctor and maybe be like, hey, this one isn't working, are there other options? Because I mean, shit, I got trialed on about 6 different ones until I found one that's kind of starting to work. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's not really that it wasn't, like, properly working. I guess it was working, but, like, I just didn't like the way I acted, I guess, because, you know, you don't feel normal, you know? So, like, I'm both, like, I hyper-focus on stuff, but then I end up just shutting everything else out and become super antisocial. But then also, like, if I get into talking, I can be like just very social, too social, you know, even worse than when I'm not on any medication.
That's absolute motor mouth.
Yeah, exactly. I just won't stop, you know, which is, you know,
See,
I mean...
Unfortunately, I'm like that naturally, so...
Well, no, I do talk a lot as well when I'm sober. Oh, sober, that's not the right word, but when I'm, you know, not on
unfortunately
any medication.
lucid.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's good, because, you know, podcasts and all that, so that's always good. But no, I haven't taken it for, God, I'd say almost like 2 months now. I haven't taken it, but that's also because my prescription ran out, and I'm too nervous to go back to the doctor right now, because I'm just not, I don't know. It always takes, like, a lot of, because you have to call them up, and it's a lot of work, and I just don't want to do that. And I'm like, you know, I'm also not losing that much sleep anymore, because on the medication I just can't sleep at all, so like now I'm kind of catching up on everything, so I'm like, I don't need it right now. Plus I'm unemployed, so there's no reason to have to constantly be, you know.
My dude, you know I support you in all your ventures, but on this one I kind of got to disagree. I've trialed on that stuff, and I've realized you got to keep consistent with it.
You think?
It's like, that's the thing. It's at first you've got the standard sort of first couple of months slingshot, but I don't know, the going off and on, it just kind of throws your system out of whack, and next time you have to go through the slingshot, the whole body just sort of starts freaking. It's like, oh crap, it's this stuff again, what do we do with it? you kind of got to find one that works with the body and then keep consistent enough with it so your body, because the body's always going to try to counterbalance and sort of add a bit more here, take a bit away there. You want to just keep it consistent enough that your body can sort of level out so you aren't getting any of those massive mood shifts that you're not happy with.
Okay.
I mean, there's always going to be like some, not always, but often there's still maybe a small side effects you have to work with, which comes part of the course with adding something to the body. Like, for instance, the one I'm on at the moment, luckily, I got the one side effect I was actually kind of hoping I'd end up with.
Which is?
Lack of hunger.
Oh, well.
I'm a chunky bastard. I'm a thick boy. So, you know, not being as hungry, kind of good to help me out a little bit. I mean, I can demolish a buffet.
No, I think I was getting that as well, but that's a common side effect with Ritalin specifically. Actually, I was watching the documentary Take Your Pills, or whatever it's called. I think that's what it's called, on Netflix. And it was talking about how Ritalin was literally created by a Swiss doctor who wanted to help his wife put a bit of a pep in her tennis game, but also help her lose weight, because, you know, men are bastards. But
you want to drop that back then?
That's what it was literally created for, apparently. Like, that's what he wrote in his diary. I'm like, well. But like,
oh, you're an asshole.
Yeah, just a bit. But
oops, sorry, that was a bad. Shouldn't say the swears.
Oh, well, no, it's alright. I'll end up editing a little bit anyway.
This is a Christian Minecraft server.
Oh god, Minecraft. I've been getting back into it actually recently. It's
the resurgence. The king returns.
Well, the thing is, I never really got into it, but that's because I never had a console to play it on, and because now I play on the Switch, which is actually surprisingly good.
See, I need to get one of those.
The Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Well, they're bringing out a whole bunch of really cool stuff now. I'm excited for Pokemon Sword and Shield anyway, but...
Sword Doggo, best doggo. I will fight someone on that. Sword Doggo, best doggo.
The thing is though, okay, I like Sword Doggo, but I think I'm going to go with Shield, because Shield has... This is the first game since, I think, Black and White, that they're doing exclusive gym battles. So there's a certain gym leader that's like really cool. He's like a little, I don't know, little emo dude wearing a cool ghost mask. So I'm like, I kind of want to get Shield so I can have him.
I really hope they do the thing where they do the third game that has the two of them. You know,
I mean, they always do
sword,
that, right?
Shield, thermal nuclear device.
Yeah. I would think
they
just do that.
Best Pokemon game.
I think they will. Yeah, they've done that with most games. Technically, yeah. And then they bring out a lot of like the... a lot of proper games now to the Switch, which is really cool. I'm excited for The Witcher. Wild Hunt is coming out on the Switch. I don't know
I'm wondering how the hell are they going to do it?
When or how?
How? That game's a unit.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, they've got like Skyrim and stuff on there as well. That was their one big seller at the beginning. I have the game actually. It's bloody fantastic, isn't it? But yeah, no, I'm excited for The Witcher mainly because I've okay, long story, I guess. My dad introduced me to it. I never played it myself, but he used to play, especially because one of his friends did all the motion capture for the monsters in the older. I don't know if he was still doing it in like the Wild Hunt days, but in the earlier games before that, he did that. So that's where I was first introduced to it. Plus, the original books, which are written by a Polish author, and my dad basically described it that it's worth learning Polish just for these books. That's how good they are. And so that's exciting. Plus, also talking about The Witcher, they're making a series of it now, a Netflix series of The Witcher based on the books, not the games.
Oh, we're in dangerous territory now. I have opinions on that.
It's dangerous, but it's looking acceptable. I forget now who's directing it, but it's someone good.
The issue I have, though, is that the director specifically was talking about, and I think it was the director, it might have been the producer, or I don't know, someone high up in the chain almost boasted about the fact that they weren't going to touch any of the material of the game, that they actively refused to. And I'm like, but we liked the games. The games had really good storylines. It had great examples of moral greys.
But the books are like they're extreme masterpieces. They are, and apparently, they promised there is a bath scene, so that should keep the fans happy.
See, I don't. You can keep your sexy Geralt feet bath scene. I want the unicorn scene.
The unicorn scene.
Goddamn unicorn scene.
I've never played the game, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Knowing the books, or at least knowing a bit about the books, I wouldn't be surprised if there is actually a unicorn scene in that as well. Because the books did not take any stops on everything. Like, it's very gory, it's very sexual, it's great storyline and everything. No, they are like absolute masterpieces, and I've been meaning to read them for a long time. So I really shouldn't be putting out all these ideas without knowing what I'm talking about. But that's
see, that's the thing. I give massive credit to the book, the author with it, and to the games. However, the writer kind of keeps acting like an ass.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, like originally with The Witcher, he signed off on a deal with it for like just a one-off payment because he didn't really think the games would become anything.
Right.
But when it came to the third games and it was massive, he then tried to sue them.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, dude, they brought it here. Yes, it was your thing, but you were the one who had little to no. Like, they actually offered him the ability to have it done as a royalty thing while they worked through it, and they offered him an extra payment further down the line as well. The guy kept saying no, he just wanted big money.
Okay. Well, yeah, see, so I haven't looked into it that much, but yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But also, I'm kind of worried in general because knowing Netflix, they're going to be like, let's make it the new next big thing, in the hopes that it's going to be the next, I don't know, Game of Thrones or whatever.
Thrones.
Exactly.
I hope they don't try to make... in all honesty, Game of Thrones... the brilliant actors, masterful direction, like the choreography, the design, the cinematography, the sound score, beautiful. The writing, absolute tosh. Granted, the dialogue writing, like character-to-character dialogue, as well as having really strong actors, brilliant, masterful example of acting.
Mm-hmm.
The story is a burning pile of garbage that's basically just bad anime for normies.
It is a bit like that. Well, the thing is... Well, I mean, but...
Also, they don't have dragons! Those are not... Sorry, I'm just going to go off on a little rant here for a second.
Go ahead.
That's a wyvern or a drake, those
Wait, hold on.
Poor, they are not a dragon!
That's what bothered me so much about The Hobbit. Because Smaug, he's not a dragon either. He was a wyvern in that as well. Because...
what is this bullshit? What'd you do? Why do you make this? Why you do this?
What do you
Explain
mean?
yourself. It just... Give it leg. Like, yes, I know the overall design... And also... No, technically I have said Skyrim has the exact same issue, but I do actually have a way that does describe it best that actually allows those dragons to look like that in lore reasons.
Okay.
But for that series, just slap 2 more legs on the bastards and you're good to go. God damn.
Yeah, like it is that... I mean, but that's common nerd knowledge. Come on. But
I despise those people that... Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, that's right.
I despise people when I talk about the subject and they just say, you do realize dragons aren't real. I'm like, first off, sit and swivel on your own thumb, you dirty tosser. Secondly, we're literally communicating in made-up sounds that our great-great ancestors have agreed have a certain meaning. Stop getting off on social constructs, you weird sod. We're not currently squatting butt naked, crapping on the floor and flinging it like chimps because you want to mate or have the food that I'm keen after. We are civilized creatures. We'll have our damn dragon conversation. Or you can bugger off to the woods, you filthy animal.
Oh, this is why I needed you on the podcast. God damn, I love this so much. This is fantastic.
Honestly, I it's always good to get that out of my system.
No, you need someone to just vent a little bit. But actually,
exactly. Talking
about series becoming milked, there's a bit of...
are we about to talk about Star Wars now?
No, actually, I was going to talk about... What are your... Have you seen the 3rd season of Stranger Things?
Actually, I haven't seen any of Stranger Things.
Well, okay, then I'm going to have to go easy on this without spoiling anything, because people are still watching the 3rd season, but...
True. Big ass spoiler warning now. Prepare yourselves.
I'll try go easy. I think what bothered me about the third season, first of all, it's not directed by the Duffer Brothers anymore. It's just written by them, so there's obviously already, something's happening there that,
Yeah, no, that massively changes the feel of a thing.
Exactly, and you notice it quite a lot. The thing is, what I liked about the first two seasons... Okay, so first of all, don't get me wrong, I love the third season, I do. However...
the memes have been good so far from my perspective.
Yeah, that too. But, so what's bothering me is that the first two seasons were just gritty and realistic. And obviously, with it being so successful, the budget has gone up, obviously. And the first of all, the set design and the main stage, which happens a lot in the mall, which isn't spoiling anything, but just the mall, the way it's looks is just absolutely fantastic. I mean, I've had my mother and other parents saying that's exactly what it looked like back then. However, you can notice that because of all this extra money, the style has changed a little bit. Everyone's wearing now super fancy, super colorful clothing, and it just changes the whole aesthetic of what the first two seasons really were. So that's what bothers me. The one other thing that bothers me is that even before seeing the third season, I was already, please leave it at that, But and the Duffer Brothers in an interview were really saying that they don't really know how they can continue this. There's no proper explanation why there's just, oh look, there's another monster. Oh look, something else is happening. Oh look, something else is happening. To keep making more seasons. And I was like, please just leave it at season 3. But no.
See, that's the thing I've unfortunately realized. Sometimes it doesn't matter how much you like a series or how much you want more. Sometimes it's just better if it just ends and it's left there.
Well, no, exactly. But because it's one of Netflix's biggest shows now, and that's undeniable, they have to milk it. And of course, there was that little scene of hey, look, it goes on, and it's it was unnecessary. Also, just some of the characters in season 3 were just stupid. Absolutely stupid. I won't say more about this because, this will go into
spoiler warning, there's tentacles. Am I right?
You're not wrong.
Oh, damn. But I haven't even seen any of the show, and I'm already getting all the good spoilers.
Tentacles have been a part of it since, technically season 1, but mainly season 2 and 3. So,
kinky.
Yeah. But no, don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore the series. Great acting. Actually, I was watching the audition tapes from Dacre Montgomery, which is, he plays Billy, the technically bad guy / I don't know. Not really bad guy, it's hard to explain, just that kind of dickish character. But
antagonist.
Not really, but yeah, kinda. It's kind of hard to explain.
Technically, an antagonist can be a very wide description. Are they antagonizing the protagonist into action or into some form of conflict?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess they're not the main antagonist, but they are that kind of evil side, little bit that's in there. That's just
they are a motivating factor in the plot.
Exactly. Yeah. So. I watched his audition tapes recently, which are absolutely fantastic, and he is just a great actor. I really like him. So a lot of effort has gone into it, and it's really good, but there's only so much you can have from that until it gets kind of watered down. And
now, if I may make an extremely nerdy analogy,
go on.
When it comes to this overall subject, Dark Souls.
Yes, of course.
I always like to treat the concept of hollowing being a very accurate description on how written literatures work, where it is, if an entity is made immortal in a sense, Stuart, they are now undying and they continue onwards. They don't just die. They don't just keep living. They slowly fade into this warped husk of what they originally were.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to describe many things. I mean, that goes for fandoms or anything, really.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything hollows given time. Granted, there's ways of rejuvenating, giving it new life in a sense, but eventually, if anything continues just in that stale state, it will eventually hollow.
Yeah, and I mean, with a series that's not based on a book specifically, for example, you will run out of source material or ideas after a certain time anyway. And yeah, that's just how it goes, I guess. But I did wish that they had, I don't know, just left it.
There are times that some series, it's just, you would prefer that.
Yeah, that's my
also,
thoughts on it.
I get really disheartened with the people who give the thing where if they add something to the series that you're not happy with, and you're unhappy with the direction something's taken, and they say, well, you still have the original, that still doesn't mean that it isn't there. We're not some machine that can just instantly snap off the rest of it. It's there, it's attached to it, your mind is... it's a part of its story now.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just pretend something didn't happen. So anything that is added to the whole. It's like when they do a reboot for something, or a remake or a continuation, and they say, "Oh, you still have the originals." It's like, yes, but this thing does still exist. Like, for instance, the people who didn't like the prequel films, they had the original trilogy, but the prequels existed. They're a part of Star Wars as a whole. Now we're getting to the point where they're solid, and there's so much more material around them. Everything is in the whole. You can't say it's not there.
You can't just block it out. As much as we try, you can't always just ignore the bad things. It all comes as a full package kind of thing. Yeah, I get that.
It's like the ending to How I Met Your Mother, without giving any spoilers. Although, in all honesty, if you haven't seen it at this point, what are you doing, you heathens? Go watch it. It's good. Some people legitimately, and personally, I kind of feel it works, just stop the episode. I think it's like at the last 20 minutes of it.
Okay.
And it works as a perfect finish.
Well, actually, that's what I remember when on Netflix, Devilman Crybaby, it had something similar to that, because it's a fantastic show and a really good, because it's not I don't know the history behind it, but I mean it's a long running series, or like universe, I guess. But the final like 2 episodes are also very hard, and like it's not a happy ending either. And it's like, oh god, I should have just finished it 1 episode beforehand. But like,
oh wait, do they pull an edgy berserk?
Yeah, very much. I mean, it goes.
Oh, no.
I wouldn't say from 1 to 100, but like it definitely ends on 100, and you're like, oh my lord, why? How? I don't like this. No, please no.
Honestly, I hate writing that uses that cheap shock tactic. It's like it's the literally equivalent of jump scares in horror. It's cheap.
Yeah. I mean, there is obviously, talking about jump scares in general, it's
I can't stand the buggers.
Because you're scared, or because it's just cheap and stupid and you don't get a fright?
Morally, because it's cheap.
Okay. In
actuality, I try to avoid the horror genre. I got a bit of a strong fight or flight response, so that stuff gets me angry. I'm just in there's a bestial side, the primordial chimp brain that's just like, Unga must punch monster, Unga want to live.
No, I do know that. I used to, oh my god. Yeah, actually, funny that, this is kind of a bit of a throwback to the beginning of the episode, because, back when it was introduced to YouTube and the whole Let's Play genre, and obviously PewDiePie, he was really big on horror games. I was like, hey, I want to do that. Like I mean, a lot of kids will have that moment where they're like, I can make it big on YouTube. But I basically, because I had the same kind of fight or flight instinct. Like, I hate anything horror. I used to hate it, absolutely. And I was like, I kind of had to force myself to start like watching more horror or playing like horror games so I could get into it, because I'm like, otherwise my channel will never be good, But and I ended up back when I had the Nintendo 2DS, I got the Resident Evil Revelations game. Well, not the game, but I got the trailer, and it took me because like with the old trailers you get like 30 attempts, like 30 times you're allowed to open the software. And I think I opened it like 10 times and then basically instantly closed it again, just because of like how scared I got. And then I slowly got more and more. By like the last try, I finished the demo, And I'm like, I was so proud of myself that I could do it. And then I bought the full game like 2 years later or something, and I still haven't finished it because it's just scary. I'm not
fair.
And I think the same thing. What really helped me kind of overcome that, not overcome, but like what I did a lot to kind of get myself more accustomed to the whole horror thing is I watched the full Telltale Walking Dead season 1, PewDiePie playing that. And that helped me as well. I mean, I was shit scared. I was like curled up on my bed, and I would have to like pause it sometimes just because I got too scared, you know, and have all the lights on and everything. I mean, I was...
That poor Swede, episode 5 emotionally destroyed him.
Oh, yeah. But no, as a kid, I was frightfully scared of anything. I mean, like, I couldn't walk home in the dark, you know. I mean, technically, I'd be the kid who would rather hold it in at night than, like, get up and go to the bathroom because of just the darkness, like walking to the light switch because I wasn't allowed to have a bedside. Yeah.
See, that's the thing. You know, with the light switch though, when you turn on the light, and you know the second you turn off the light, that's when it's like germs. That's when the monsters can go.
Yeah. Or just I remember I used to also I learned my whole room off like with my eyes closed. I knew how to like get to the light switch and back to my bed. So what I'd do, instead of like having my eyes open and then frightfully looking through the dark, I just close my eyes and then like blindly walk to my bed. That was one of my tactics. But like, I hated getting up in the dark because I mean, also I guess maybe my ADHD or whatever. But like, you know, every shadow looked like something, and I could almost like hear the goddamn voices under the bed. You know, like.
You just like you left a hoodie on the dresser one night, and then suddenly at like 4 o'clock in the morning, the embodiment of Satan.
Exactly. Well, actually, that happened to me. I think I was like 6, 7ish, I would say. I was at my grandmother's house, you know, away from home, and she let me watch the King Kong movie. So it was the
Peter Jackson.
Yeah, the Peter Jackson one.
Original.
Yeah, the Peter Jackson one. And
it was the grub scene.
No, it wasn't even that far. Like it was pretty much just the scene. Once they brought him back to, is it New York or whatever?
Wait, what do you mean not that far? That's the end of the movie.
Yeah. Like I just saw.
That's
the
as
ending.
far as you can get.
Okay, I mean not that early. I mixed it up. But, like, I just saw the ending, basically. But then, at night, you know, I got horribly scared. At night, a jacket hanging out by... Because, like, the door to the room was open just a little bit, so the light was coming in, and it, like, shone past a jacket that just perfectly looked like his face. And I could not sleep at all. So, yeah, my mind used to always play tricks on me. I was nice. A very, you know... creative.
Imaginative child.
Imaginative child. Thank you. That's the word I was meaning. I mean, yeah, because
you're quite welcome.
I was an only child, so I had to entertain myself somehow. And I mean, I would make all these different worlds in my head, which is good now because I can kind of apply it to me writing my book. So I've been kind of introducing elements there. I'm like, hey, this is finally that character that I used to pretend to be when I was 5. I can finally make it a character in my book. And it's funny, actually. I've put a couple of story arcs which are genuinely based off things that I, like, you know, created in my mind back when I was small boy. So...
Small boy with big brain. Now you big boy with big brain.
Yeah, wow. That's arguable, but...
Always big brain.
Big brain. Big brain.
Big brain. Big brain.
I just watched the latest episode of PewDiePie's Minecraft playthrough.
I see you too know where that reference is from.
Yeah, big brain. Well,
big brain, small brain.
Small brain.
I can't... They've finally made progress.
Oh, on the Skyblocks?
Yes!
Yeah, it's,
after 4 episodes of them failing to make a cobblestone generator. Can we just appreciate, though, that thve oddly made a bunch of very interesting designs?
That is true, actually. It's been quite entertaining to watch. I watched a time lapse of someone playing Skyblocks, and you're like, how? Where? How do you do that? What?
Is a good sir. I believe that item does not exist.
Yeah, exactly. Just a bit. And it's like, wait, where did you get that from? I don't understand.
From what ethereal portal was that pulled, you spontaneous ponce?
Oh, it's good fun. It's I've been getting back into Minecraft as well. Like properly playing it now.
We should play Skyblocks at some point.
Well, I don't know how cross-platform works on the Switch.
Yeah.
Because it is possible. I'm pretty sure it is possible. I just,
Damn you, Notch!
I just have no idea how to do it.
No. Sorry, forgive me, Notch. Praise be, lit gamer. No, I love him too.
It's good.
Don't want to piss off the Allfathers.
It's yeah. I don't know. I've been playing. I tried building a bridge from a tutorial, like on YouTube, and it was just the hardest thing ever. I'm not good at the game. I'll just put it out. I'm very bad at it, but it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, I just prefer being an overglorified eco-terrorist. Just mine all of the ore, burn everything to the ground.
It's great. It's yeah. What else have I been playing recently? I was playing Lethal League Blaze.
Oh, actually, on the previous subject of the horror, scary
yeah, of course.
I remember there was one thing I tried. I can't remember this. I think it's the latest Resident Evil. You know, the one with basically the rednecks.
Oh, yeah. It's not the most. Oh wait, technically, it might be the most recent one if you're ignoring the remake. I think so.
Yeah, I'll say the latest in the chronology.
Yeah.
I think I don't even know the timeline. I ain't even going to try to do that. That's a job for Matt Pat.
Yeah.
Now, I tried it in VR.
Oh God, that's not smart.
No. So I got a guy who has a PlayStation VR. We both decided it would be a great idea to get drunk off of our asses and at 2 o'clock in the morning play that.
Yikes.
Oh, it was horrifying.
Oh, I
was
think
not.
so.
The thing I hated too is they would not give me an he kind of had to stand a little bit to the side because every time something popped up, my knee-jerk reaction was to punch with the remote. But although we then decided to stop playing it and found an even more horrifying thing to do.
What did you play?
It's not what we played, it's what we did with the VR. We went on to YouTube and just started diving down the rabbit hole of VR experiences.
Oh, yeah.
And we found something weird.
Actually, sorry. Now I do know. Yeah, it is. I know which game you're talking about now. That is the most recent one. It's 7? Resident Evil 7?
Nice.
Yeah, I think it'd be that one. Yeah. Because now I remember the VR experience. I remember seeing people play it as well.
It's certainly it's not fun.
I wouldn't think so.
But
I've never tried VR VR games. But yeah, go on. What did you find?
Actually, next time you're down, we got a VR arcade down here.
Oh,
next time you're down, we'll go and have a crack at it.
Hell yeah!
Make some good fun out of it. But so we then decided to go down YouTube's VR experience routes, and we went down the rabbit hole of clicking in the side tabs, and we found something weird.
What did you find?
You know Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yep.
You know how people get weird with fandoms?
Oh no. Okay.
Sort of all extremely feminine anthropomorphized version. Furry. We got into furry shit.
Yikes.
It was, and in VR?
On YouTube as well. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Yeah.
Luckily, I wasn't subjected to it firsthand. I was having fun, because at this point it was a matter of one of us puts on the VR headset, the other one picks a video. Oh, I had fun torturing my mate with that. She was just like, oh no. No, Puppet, that's illegal! No!
Don't do that. Yeah.
Fuck! Mood. Bad touch! Bad touch! Bad touch, beers!
Actually, talking about horror games, I think the first proper introduction to playing a horror game, or like properly playing it and like enjoying it, was when we hung out last, which is way too long ago, and we played...
Shit, man, we need to hang out more.
Yeah, definitely. We played Left 4 Dead 2? I think it was 2. I would.
Oh,
I was.
that's not horror. That's actually technically it is in the horror genre, but
For me, it's
the
scary.
fun-
Okay, but it is fun. It was. Yeah.
See, I like that type of horror where if you're scared, you pick up the nearest long object and beat that thing to death.
Yeah.
Send it back from whence it came and let it realize this is my reality. You are not welcome. Get off me lawn, mate.
Get off my lawn. Very true. But no, that is like the first introduction to it, and I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed that game very much.
Have you ever had to narrate a game of tennis for a blind person?
No.
It goes like this. Whack.
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 Whack. Sorry, I just wanted to put a stupid joke in that you're probably going to have to edit out.
No, I might end up just leaving it in, to be honest. It's good stuff. Hey, what else do we talk about? I mean, we're already pretty far into the episode now.
Yeah.
We could end up just recording a second one, to be honest.
Scratteru Floratu. Let's go for number 2.
Alright. So, another episode done. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah!